Start. Yes, able, unmute yourself.
Sir, 1 minute, sir, 1 minute. Okay.
Yes.
So, good morning to one and all present here. Today we are all gathered here for another discussion. So today's discussion is about those Indian startups that have failed past few years. So sir have put yesterday sir have put a list of those industries. So you have to discuss. What we are going to discuss today is about why they failed and what all things we could learn, so that if or when we are starting a new startup, how can we prevent it from failing and let it grow to the next level. So whoever is ready to speak right now, please raise your hand so that I could call your name and you could present it. Okay. So first, I would like to call Meera for her presentation. Meera, please.
Yeah, thank you, Abel. Good morning, sir. Good morning, one and all.
Mira, you can switch on your camera.
Yes, sir.
Yes, proceed.
I'll start, sir.
Yes.
Roll number is 20PS101034, and I'll be speaking about the startup Tazo. And as sir had asked to explain what were its failures and what we could have done to meet the standards of the market. First, I would like to talk about the company. So Tazo is basically a bike rental company, which is similar to the startup Ofo. Sir, I'm sorry for the background noise.
No issue.
It's basically an on-demand delivery platform for the rental of self-drive motorbikes. So it's basically Hyderabad-based startup which provides location-based motorbike delivery, more like how we have Bounce in Bangalore. And it is for the pickup services, and it allows users to track the availability of two-wheelers at the nearest station, while also allowing them to request for free delivery and pickups through its app. So here you can see that I had mentioned free delivery, and I will explain how it acts as a failure for the company later. So why it failed? So basically, they had the free delivery services, and according to Deepak Shahadapuri, one of the founder and MD of DSG Consumer Partners, he had mentioned that one of the Tazo's like failure, it failed due to because it could not prove to be a profitable product market of it, which led to drying up of funding. So certain things which Tazo did like proved that it was not making much profit, because of which funding reduced. And according to certain articles, it could be stated that Tazo offered bike services for about rupees 5 per kilometers. On addition to it, they did offer GPS enabled services and doorstep delivery of bikes too. And the level of services they were giving was definitely really good and better than their rate. But here they didn't focus much on their profit. They were behind providing so much services for the people at a very lower cost, which led to poor revenue generation. Giving these services would have been difficult at these prices. Their business model won't be was not making much profit, which is one of the major factors for their failure. And they it also can be seen that they could not expand their business because of less fund, and their model was not like up to the mark for a revenue generating one. Basically they had a poor business model. And according to me, what I feel they should have done was they should have like charged more, for rather than charging rupees 5 per kilometer. They could have charged more. Rather than giving free delivery services, they could have like added some amount for the delivery to the location point from where a customer could take the vehicle. And they could have if they would have done this, they could have generated more revenue. They should have had as I mentioned, a better business model, and due to this, they would have proved to be a profitable product market, and this could have led to some funding and some sponsorship from some renowned business organizations and people. Thank you.
Thank you, Meera. That was a very good present, very well presented. So next, I would like to call Glenda for her presentation. One thing everybody has to notice that after your presentation, please lower your hands so that I could know that you have completed your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, April. I'm Glenda, and my registration number is 20PS201023. I'm going to speak about TaskBob. So, as we all know about Urban Clap, we can just to make it easier to understand what TaskBob has done. Just like we have home services, like Urban Clap provides, the same way TaskBob had the same idea. It was launched in 2014, and the reason that they saw was that the services was good at that time, and they also had their centers in Mumbai as well. But something that got them down and did not let them to succeed was basically that they when they increased their margins, the profit margins, that's when they started losing out their customers. So they did not have a proper structure in their own system of profits. They did not have a scalability, the profitability structure that has to be maintained. And as one thing that I have learned from TaskBob is first that the idea will be really good, but we all need to understand that if we are doing something like that, there's always a service that also has to be kept in mind, and also the margins. So if we keep a higher margin, we may sometimes lose our customer because of the competition in the market. And our idea can also be used by other, just like how Urban Clap has done, where they are doing it on the similar lines of TaskBob. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Glenda. Next, I would like to call Anne Maria for her presentation.
Thank you, Abel. Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon, sir. So I'm going to talk about the company that is Yummist, which was founded by Alok Jain and Abhimanyu Maheshwari. And it is a Gurgaon-based company, and which was launched in 2014. And it shut down in September 29, 2017. So the funding, basically in 2015, when they started the company, they were able to raise a seed funding of about 2 million from Unilaser. But their main failure was they didn't use the funding properly. The initial amount what they got, they used it, instead of gaining a stability, they started expanding. They started expanding to different cities. And when this happened, they had to close down slowly due to the inefficient processing of the company. So basically, these people were supplying home-based food, which they were cooking by themselves, and then they're supplying to the people who were going to companies. So what I feel is, instead of expanding from the seed funding what you get, it's always better that the seed funding which you get, you need to keep it aside and use it properly and stabilize your own business first. Maybe if you have just one outlet, just make it stable enough that you reach a point wherein you have enough money, so then you start expanding. You need to consider about the losses also before expanding. It should not always be about the future. You should be thoughtful about what is happening right now also. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne Maria. Next, I would like to call Ismat for her presentation.
Hello everyone, I am Ismat, and I will be talking about TaskBob and how it failed and what we could learn from its failure. So I hope I'm audible. Okay. Yeah. So TaskBob was a Mumbai-based hyper-local startup, which is similar to Urban Clap that we have these days. It was founded by the graduates of IIT Bombay and IIM Ahmedabad. And it was set up in 2014, but shut down in 2017. So the aim of this startup was to create happy households by providing high quality home services. Like I said, very similar to what services Urban Clap and other companies provide. So the question is why it failed, right? So it was rumored that the company was desperately in need of funds to run their businesses. And so the company tried to be a part of the acquisition, but they failed in this. And looking at the acquisition talks, they stated that the company had the potential to grow, but they were lacking in management somewhere, either due to the scarcity of funds or lack to manage their previous funds. But so this shows that they definitely showed their capability and pitched their idea in front of investors. And this is how they were able to acquire previous fundings, but they lagged in sustaining the business on long-term basis. After the funding, they required to execute a proper strategy on the basis of their business demand, where they lacked severely, and in properly planning the business strategy. They failed to set a viable business in the Mumbai area. Their strategy formation went wrong, and lack of business strategy, and most of all, they weren't able to use their funding in the right track to sustain their business. So from this failure, we learned that market research, competitor analysis, understanding of market challenges within the industry, customer demands, and understanding what their need is and what the market trends are basic aspects that we need to consider when we are running a business. And all of this becomes very important while you're managing a business and before entering into any industry and running your business properly. Thank you.
Thank you, Ismat. Next, I would like to call Kritika for her presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Okay, so the startup that I chose was Content Mart. So before talking about its failures, I'd like to talk about the platform. So it is a content writing platform that usually hired freelance content writers, and it is one of India's very first platform to start such an idea. So the platform, so anyone who was interested in content writing could apply, could log in as a freelancer, and there was a series of tests that was given to them at first to check if they have the proper literacy knowledge, proper language knowledge, and everything. And then later they could be approached by clients. Who needed a particular type of content. So the type of content that Content Mart offered was blogs, articles, even academic writing, business writing, and all of those. So what happened was in 2017, yes, 2017, the organization was shut. Sorry, 2018, of August 22nd, 2018, the organization was shut down because of low funding and everything. So what was happening was content writers were not getting paid enough, and the platform was not making enough money. One of the major mistakes that the organization did was sometimes clients were not happy with the kind of content being delivered to them. So the organization, the platform did not hire freelancers that were very good at writing. Sometimes the writers were very amateur, and the kind of test that was given to freelancers at first was not enough. And later also content writing firms started. There were many other content writing firms that came as competitors, so obviously they did not work on growing and changing their platform more. They stuck to their old ideas, and the business model was not a very strong model. So because of these things, the organization failed, and what happened was many freelancers lost their jobs, and even clients, the clients who were last working with a few freelancers, they lost their contracts as well. So but the platform was very clear enough saying that even though they are shutting down, they gave their clients and freelancers an opportunity to connect in an offline manner so that they could finish their last pending task. So the owner said that they had a lot of mistakes and they did not think about a lot of from the perspective of earning a lot of money uh, and also making a stronger business model, and because of that they had to shut down. Now we have a lot of platforms like content pepper content and all of those competition. They have learned from these mistakes and other competitors are now prospering well, but at that time this was a very good idea.
I think. Okay, able, you can call next. I think some issue. with that one.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Next one, I would like to call Rashmita for her presentation. Rashmita, please.
Rashmita, you can
Sir, she-
unmute.
May I do, sir, by the time?
Okay, I think you can call next
Sir,
person.
Sir, sorry, was my did I get cut in between or was it over? How much did you hear?
No issues, ma.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, I was done. So those were the failures and the things why Content Mart failed. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. Sir, can I call the next person, sir?
Yes, yes.
Not taking. Tenzin, you are the next person. Please unmute and start your presentation.
Okay.
Good.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, my friends. Today I'm gonna talk about DocTalk. Actually, DocTalk is a company which have both customer and doctors. Usually, DocTalk is it have both customer and doctor in a such way that it helps the customer to send a message or to inquiry the doctor about their illness or what they suffer from, and to doctor they have their that they will get inquiry digitally from customer or a patient, so that doctor will have saved their time. So for customer, there will be a save of money, and for doctor, they will be save of time. This is a kind of a DocTalk company which they established the inquiry between doctor and patient in a digital form. In recently, this company was started in 2016, but unfortunately, it got failed. And the reason behind it, I will be mentioned. I would like to share four most important reasons why they got failed. First is the platform between a doctor and patient is in the form of EMR. EMR and means electronic medical record, and but is that EMR didn't give much acceleration, in the sense they didn't give as fast as the patient want. And second is the EMR cost is much more higher than the communication software, so it didn't become balanced. So by the time they could not pay back in a time interval. And third reason is during that time 2016, there's not only talk, there's also like I'm fine. I mean the spell is I'm fine, like talk only, and also Practo. Not only the doctor is there, also other Practo and Amfine is there. They're also giving EMR, and they're also giving such platform to get inquiry from patient and all. But they didn't give any special uh, service, so that this is the why one reason they got failed. And final reason is uh, and was only providing the communication service before the pivot that match up with other healthcare, because which TalkTalk aim are offering lack of differentiation from its competitor, like they're lacking the differentiation from their other competitor. If I give you example, if you wanna start up some restaurant or nearby our college. And there's so many restaurants, but you have to know that uh, what specialty you have, and you have to figure out what they didn't have, and that so that you can put more effort in your startup. And thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Good.
Thank you, Tenzin. Next, I would like to invite Feba for her presentation. Sir, Rashmida has problem.
Yes,
in,
no issue, no issue, no issue. Leave that one.
Okay.
Thank you, Abel. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. So the startup that I'm going to talk about is called BabyBerry. So BabyBerry was started in 2014. It is a Bangalore-based mobile application. It was a Bangalore-based mobile application that was started. So this application basically focused on child health. It was a child health and wellness platform that had many features that would help new parents cope up with parenting, and it provided many things like charts and reminders of the baby's growth or even during the mother's pregnancy, and it helped parents keep a record of the child's vaccinations and many other health records, and it helped them manage to track the health and wellness of the child. And it also provided a lot of information and tips from experts like psychologists, physicians, pediatricians, nutritionists, and it had a lot of features like this. And initially the app also raised around $1 million as revenue, and it was doing quite well, and this app was available on Android as well as iOS platforms. And although the reason for the failure is not very clear, the one thing that experts and many sources are saying is that the BabyBerry lacked a proper revenue model, and their expenses increased to a very great extent, and they were not able to create as much revenue as they needed. And as their expenses increased, they were not able to keep up with it. And another explanation that BabyBerry themselves gave for its shutdown was that there were many technical glitches and that they would reopen once they resolved those glitches. So this application was started in 2014 and it shut down in 2018 because of these reasons. Thank you.
Thank you, Feba. Next, I would like to invite Gibson for his presentation. Gibson, you could unmute and start your presentation.
Excuse me,
Yes,
sir.
thank you, Abel. I think someone is asking, excuse me.
Who is that?
I think Meera was trying to say something.
Sir, one
Yes.
of the student is not able to unmute herself.
No
Rishma.
problem, no problem. She is already having mark. Don't worry.
Thank you, sir.
Gibson, you can continue.
Yes, sir. So I just would like to share my screens.
You want to share your screen? Okay. Yes, now you can share.
Yes. Okay. Actually, always I would like to.
You can complete quickly because we have to close the class by another 10 minutes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Good afternoon, sir, and good afternoon, everyone. Hope my video is visible to everyone. Yeah. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the failure of EasyTruck. This is a transportation platform. The thing I mentioned that failures can happen is it is about failures can happen, but as somebody was saying, we have to learn from the failure. This is a startup which is headquartered in Bangalore, and the founder of this was Srikanth M. And Narasimha BS. They have launched this particular startup in the year of 2015, and this is a logistic platform where they'll connect the manufacturers. For example, let's take Britannia as a manufacturer, and they just want to deliver all their products to the particular destination wherever the supply is and wherever the storage spaces are there. So this service, and they gave the what to say, the prices and all were good, but still they got failed and they were not able to scale up their business to the level that they wanted to scale that up. And the thing is, they tried to raise fund, and no, they almost raised 1 crore, but the founders were unable to raise it for another subsequent years. And because of those the funding issue, this company was unfortunately shut down in the year 2018. So I've seen companies failing down because of many reasons, but a company is failing down because of without they are not funding. So I'm really when I just went through this, it made me feel bad, because there are many things which we learn, we invest, we fund, and if a particular business is not able to scale up to the level where they are reaching, and unfortunately they are shutting down, is actually not good. So that's something. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Can we go to the next person, sir, or
Yes, yes,
should
yes.
we-
Any other, or you can conclude.
Okay, then. So because of the time constriction, we are concluding this session. Okay.
It is your
So
turn.
here we have seen a lot of. Sir, can I conclude, sir?
Yes, yes, you can conclude.
So we have heard a lot of reasons that led to the failure of many of the startups, which include bad business models, inability to raise profits just because they are providing excess amount of services to a person. Then we saw how lack of funding, which led to the failure of a company. So while we are doing any kind of business, we must have this shows that we must have an extensive plan in place, so that we would ensure that we have a very good business model. We have ways to gain profit. We have ways to bring in investment. We have ways to handle situations or even crisis situations. So what we have learned from this is that even though there are many problems that we are going to face, we must have a plan, or we must know how to handle those situations while we are starting. So we are going to conclude this presentation. So thank you for all who have presented, and thank you all for patiently listening. Thank you, sir, for providing this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, students. You have done well. We'll meet once again on Thursday. I hope with these assignments, everything over. We'll meet on Thursday. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Mm.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.